On this week's ADCs of Wrestling, we talk all about WWE Evolution. Yes, Evolution is a pay-per-view. Only women, there's no dudes. Plus, the Summerslam card is starting to take shape. Why is SmackDown so much better than Raw? And Steve might have made a song. Don't worry about it. You'll find out.
It's the best shit you've ever heard.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, Steve. Let's go.
Let's go! Let's go! Oh, hell yeah!
Are you ready for a show with questionable wrestling impressions by a guy I know? ADC!
Ooh, yeah, dig it!
ADC!
Let me tell you something, ADC!
He watches wrestling!
Matt the Morgan's awesome model!
Did you know your ADCs, the ADCs of Wrestling? Welcome to the ADCs of Wrestling. I'm your host, Andrew David Cox. Yes, it's the big dog days of summer. We are back after a busy couple weeks once again. Another hiatus. I'm afraid that you're all going to leave us and never come back. But hey, Matt the Mark came back. How you doing, Matt the Mark?
Oh, I'm doing just fantastic.
Oh, fantastic.
So excited to be back, don't you know?
You were barely awake.
I'm actually really tired. I was up until 2 a.m. playing on the computer.
Well, why would you do that? You know we have wrestling to talk about, Matt. You have to be wide awake to talk about wrestling.
Yeah.
In someone's living room.
See, I don't know, when I'm old, or because I'm old, I played baseball last night, and it was a bit of a later game, and we stick around, and we have a beer, you know, that sort of thing. Sorry, a beverage. And I don't know, I always have a hard time falling asleep after that, and for whatever reason, last night was the worst, and I was up until at least 2 o'clock.
Well, WWE Raw probably has a cure for what ails you. And these, as I already said, dog days.
Yeah, the big dog days. I did like what you did. You know, you've kind of slid that in there, the big dog.
Right.
The dog days. I mean, I got it.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
was good.
It's going to be the name of the episode now that we've butchered it and said it like 6 times. This is like the NSYNC thing all over again. Like, I want to hit stop and start again now because we just
don't have time for that.
Heads. Yeah, a couple weeks off. I had a wedding that I was part of. The two most famous people I know.
Yeah, they were in the New York Times.
Yeah, they were in the New York Times. Well, Stu works there.
Yep.
Stuart A. Thompson and Kaylee Rogers. Stuart A. Thompson, who works for the New York Times, and Kaylee, who works at the Motherboard division of Vice Media in New York.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, both verified on Twitter.
Stewie.
So you know they're famous.
Stu is verified on Twitter?
They're both verified on Twitter.
Come on.
Yeah, the wedding has a blue check beside it, and the invitation.
Come on.
There was no blue check in the invitation.
That's cool. Damn, Stu, you famous, boy.
Well, his team was nominated for a Pulitzer. So, you know, there's that.
Well, isn't that fancy?
I know. I felt very underqualified to be part of the wedding party, but good time
awesome.
was had by all. Basement Steve
nice.
stayed home.
A lot of the pictures I saw looked like it was a very lovely wedding.
It was great.
Looks like you guys had some fun.
Oh, yeah. Up in the countryside,
it was
North
nice.
Ontario. Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Also, one random note, my Twitter DMs. Apparently, I had requests for DMs in my inbox that I just didn't see because, you know, derp. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
That had been there since like February, since I posted the Braun Strowman video. And like even like important people had reached out to me and said things, and I had totally ignored it. So hopefully this... you know, goes as an apology to anybody who's listening. And hopefully new partnerships shall be formed based on these.
ADC is sorry.
Yeah. Whoops.
Well, if you sent me that text, you're like, hey, look at what I missed from 4 months ago.
Yeah, apparently this happened in February.
That looked like it should have been important.
Yeah, so if you just got a message back from me, that's why. I apologize. Yeah. So rundown on the show today, obviously we're going to have a little news from around the world of professional wrestling. As per usual, Raw and SmackDown live chat. Maybe talk a little NXT, although I'm not caught up. I don't know. Oh, Matt's shaking his head, nodding his head. Yes. 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 And then, of course, just 2 tweets. And at some point, Basement Steve may have something to say musically. But first, let's talk about what we did miss while we were gone. There was a whole lot of stuff that happened, really, like Extreme Rules.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about Extreme Rules.
No, which is fine. Not a whole lot happened. Obviously, Nakamura won the U.S. Championship.
I still thought it was a decent pay-per-view. I know it was getting a lot of flack online from people, but I actually thought it was pretty good.
I didn't get ending with the IC title.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
Show me a reason in which it makes sense for the IC title match to headline before the world title match. Like, you go back a few months, and that world championship was the main title on the same show as the IC title.
Yep.
There's no way that that's a bigger match. And on top of that, you get this whole clock gate, timer gate, buzzer gate thing that happened out of it. Obviously, people are they can't. It's like the end of a 4-hour show, and you're guaranteeing people that it's going to be a half an hour match.
You know what, though? I think
they're going to act like idiots.
I think that countdown was going to happen either way because it's common in WWE now where the crowd tries to overtake every pay-per-view. It's ridiculous.
Well, guess that's what we're not going to get for a long time now.
It's ridiculous.
An Iron Man match.
We may get an Iron Man match. They're just not going to put the clock up.
That doesn't fly either because stupid idiot fans will just be like, "Where's our clock?
Yeah,
where's our clock?" And then just go, over and over again. It must have been kids or something.
So dumb. It was most of the crowd. It was so loud.
Like,
it was ridiculous.
I'm usually the first one to say, when you're at a baseball game or whatever, do what you want. People that get mad at people doing the wave and stuff, I'm not for that. I'm like, the wave doesn't bother me. But for some reason,
I'll talk about the wave.
I don't want to talk about it because I think that's stupid. But
you're stupid.
I just don't see how you cannot, how can you be so self-unaware and so ignorant to the fact that you are ruining the show for a lot of people?
Millions of people.
Everybody that's not in the arena, it's not enjoyable for.
It's the people in the arena. It's the people watching on TV.
And half the people in the arena.
It's the two guys in the damn ring, literally putting their bodies on the line for you idiots in the crowd to sit there and buzz every minute. Give me a friggin' break.
Yeah, and for it to be every 60 seconds for 30 minutes.
It's ridiculous.
It's stupid.
Ridiculous.
It's just stupid. How can you not realize that you're just destroying the show?
Yeah.
I was listening to a clip from Seth Rollins on Lillian Garcia's podcast. It's called Chasing Glory. Yep. And he was talking about it. And, he's like, yeah, I just don't really understand the mentality of people who pay money to go to a show and then not watch the show. He's like, yeah, maybe they were bored, whatever. He said he more or less got over it and got through it, and it didn't really throw him off. But he said that Ziggler was definitely thrown. He's like, Dolph, I could tell Dolph was different.
He was annoyed. Annoyed. You could see it.
And you could hear them talking.
You could hear them talking.
At one point, he's like, it's worse than when they had the damn clock up.
Yeah.
Put the clock back.
Yeah.
That was funny.
So dumb.
Other than that, not a lot. I mean,
no, I mean, and I totally agree. The WWE Championship should be the biggest title and should main event every show. That being said, you mentioned it in with what you said. It is a 4-hour show. So if you want your biggest title to have more people watching and be more captivating, maybe you don't want to put it at the end of a 4.5 hour show.
No, you still do. You put the Iron Man match in the middle somewhere where people are still into it.
Iron Man match could have been first.
It should have been first.
Could have been first. Should have been first. So, but either way, I still enjoyed the show. I actually ended up muting the last match because I was enjoying it, the match itself.
Yeah, it
just
ruined
not
the whole
crowd.
thing for me. I don't know.
So,
Elias's EP. Have you listened to it yet?
I listened just the one he performed on Raw. That's the only one
that song that he got to that he performed.
Eventually, that he kind of got to it, but stopped.
He didn't get to it at all.
Well, he played the first verse.
I'm definitely gonna download that and check it out.
It's 4 songs.
I have it on Spotify.
I have it on my Spotify. I saved it. I'll listen to it at some point. I'll probably listen to it on my way home, but I kind of love this whole concept. The fact that
that he didn't get to perform it.
No, the fact that he has an EP.
Oh, of course,
it's awesome.
Yeah. That's great.
I find him so funny, and the crap he does in the ring it just makes sense that he would put it on rec. I don't know. I love the whole thing.
I went down a rabbit hole last night of WWE music.
Oh no.
And there were so many ridiculous videos that I found I forget, Stand Back, the Vince McMahon song. Somebody asked us about that in just 2 tweets, and I started watching the video, and I was just like, I can't even imagine a world in which this stuff would still happen, where Vince or Triple H or somebody would be out there performing a song with dancers on a stage at the Slammy Awards and a variety show, and Hulk Hogan and the Hulkamaniacs playing guitar and Macho Man there just blowing the sax. Yeah, ooh yeah, dig my jazz sounds. Yeah, ooh, the cream of the jazz crop. Yeah, ooh yeah.
Yeah,
just ridiculousness.
It's good, and there's a lot of history there. So it's I don't know. I like it. I like everything Elias kind of touches right now. So.
There's also that song "If You Only Knew" from the WWF Pile Driver album back in the day. Oh, Vanguard Dog 1,
Vanguard
yes.
Dog 1.
Who is invading the compound? Yes. I believe the mailman is here.
Oh, it's the mailman?
It's the mailman. Guys, this is a first. I've been waiting for Vanguard Dog 1 to appear.
What are we, episode 17?
I think 18.
18?
Yeah.
You know what? Honestly,
there he's going.
He's still going. You, from day one, you said, oh, this is going to be tough because every time the mailman comes, and we always miss it, but today is the day.
Yeah. I was like, my dog is 100% going to blow all our spots.
Yeah.
Like he's a spot monkey.
He's never until right now, first time.
You know what? Let's take a moment. Wait! He's been wonderful. He really hasn't really thrown the podcast off much at all. But
no.
Now he's laying down in his little doggy bed.
He's fine again. Yep.
He's chilling. It's that fucking mailman. You know what the problem is? Every time he barks at the mailman for him to leave, it works. So he's just going to keep doing it.
I feel like Teddy doesn't know that that's his job, is to just kind of quickly come and quickly go.
Yeah, no, he doesn't understand at all. As far as Teddy knows, he's done a wonderful job.
He has protected the house.
Warding away that mailman in his stupid high visibility jacket that he wears. Like, get the fuck out of here, mailman.
Oh, Ted.
Goddamn kid, Teddy, you do a good fucking job. Keep that sumbitch away. He tried to steal my beer last time he was here.
Someone's got to protect the house.
You telling me the mailman's tried to steal your beer?
Fucking A right, he did. Either that or I drank that shit. I don't really remember.
I think we all know what the real answer is.
Maybe he should bring some stunners back. I don't know.
Yeah, he probably should bring stunners back.
Yeah.
Hey, have you seen all this speculation about Matt Riddle?
This might be one of the more exciting possible signees. Like, there's been some great ones. Like, it's so hard to say that because of guys like Ricochet, Adam Cole, blah, blah, EC3, all these guys that are in NXT right now. Matt Riddle could be one of the most exciting signings as long as they don't ruin him.
Right. As well, in
but if he goes in NXT, I think he'll be amazing.
And I assume he would keep the name Matt Riddle. And
I hope so.
I mean, he's got the past.
Yeah,
he's got the past with UFC and all that stuff. I'll have to work on a Matt Riddle impression because his speech pattern's hilarious.
Yeah.
He's such a bro.
I do have concerns about his weed intake.
Yeah, well, he
how
loves
that's
the weed.
going to fly, but who knows?
He just needs like a medical card for it or something. I don't know. Maybe he's got one.
Maybe.
But if you believe things that guys like Dave Meltzer say, he would have you believe that if they sign Matt Riddle, he'd instantly be like the top guy in NXT or one of like the top 2 or 3 guys of the New Japan men's roster if he were to go somewhere else.
I could see it.
He's a big star.
He's explosive, man. He's explosive. He's talented as hell.
Yeah. Bro.
Could be amazing.
Bro. So that's really exciting.
Yeah.
Did you want to talk about NXT a little bit?
Just a little bit.
I didn't get to last week's episode. Unfortunately, last night I was trying to watch.
Like last night's episode or last week's?
Last night's episode.
Okay.
I actually didn't get to last week's episode
But everyone knows the spoilers.
I don't want to spoil it, but it's aired, so we might as well talk about it. Because why else would you be listening to the show?
Right.
Tommaso
okay,
Ciampa.
so full on spoiler alert here. Yeah. If you were listening and you haven't watched
like 3
NXT
minutes.
or didn't look at Twitter the last week and a half or whatever.
Or see the results from the tapings that dropped like 3 weeks ago and ruined it for all of us.
Well, it was last week when it happened.
Yes,
and everyone went nuts on Twitter. But Tommaso Ciampa is your new NXT champion. Ciampa. And it was an unbelievable match. Like 30 minutes of these two going head to head. And we haven't seen Tommaso have like an actual wrestling match. We've seen him in vicious beatdowns and brutal attacks and all this crap the last few weeks. And then all the stuff with Johnny Gargano. This match just kind of reminded you how awesome he actually is and how amazing his character is.
Oh, yeah.
Everything about him is amazing.
The furthest I got on NXT was the week, like 2 episodes ago, where he jumped Aleister Black backstage after his confrontation with Gargano.
It was 2 weeks off the gurney.
Yeah.
That was 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
No, it wasn't off a gurney. It was
or off a table or something.
Yeah, it was like Black.
It was backstage. He attacked him.
Black and Gargano were talking, and Gargano was like, no, he can't win the championship. And then Black's like, fuck off, you little son of a bitch, and then walks away.
I'm excited about where this goes because I'm fully assuming some sort of triple threat going into Brooklyn. So I don't know, just the whole thing. One of the things I still continue to love about this guy is his no music and that his whole theme is the sound of hate. I believe is what they're calling it. And it's just pure silence and booing. And like, it's just everything about it is friggin' brilliant. So, man.
You know what worries me though? If you bring him up to the main roster,
keep him in NXT.
People aren't going to get it. They're just going to they're either going to make chants up or they're going to cheer him or it's not going to be anything. And like the people in NXT, they're all, initiated. They know you're supposed to boo and hiss and hate Tommaso Ciampa.
I'm excited for you to watch it. because
I'm excited to watch it too.
Watch the
I'll probably
entire
watch
match
tonight.
because the match is awesome. But at the end, you can feel, like you can hear and feel the crowd as soon as they know what's about to happen, and it's before it actually happens.
That's awesome.
I'm not going to ruin how it ends, but you can you hear the crowd where it's almost like, I don't know. You hear like kids screaming, and the crowd just all of a sudden starts getting louder, like they know it's about to happen.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Like I'm getting goosebumps even right now thinking it was so good.
Fantastic stuff.
So good.
Okay.
Can I just point out one more thing about Ciampa?
Yep.
If you go online, or I was searching for, because I was trying to find out the actual name of his theme and so on, and this The Sound of Hate.
Mm-hmm.
And if you Google it, there's Tommaso Ciampa's theme 2018. It's a YouTube clip. If you click on it, it goes to his face, and you know how you can like go and look up wrestlers' music and so on.
Yep.
It's 1.5 minutes of silence. I clicked on it and I was waiting for it. I was checking my volume. I was like, oh, this is good. They totally got me.
That's funny. They trolled you hard.
Oh, it made me laugh.
They trolled you hard, bro.
Anyways, I won't talk too much. I won't really mention much more about NXT, but Brooklyn's going to be amazing. Adam Cole and Ricochet are going at it. Kairi Sane and Baszler. NXT just continues to be amazing week to week.
Random note.
Yes.
Lacey Evans, her gimmick is a little too much for 2018. There's no way that's believable at all.
No.
Even in NXT, it's just way too much. It's like she's got the little floppy hat with the veil on, and it's just like, come on.
They've changed it.
Too much.
So they changed it because she is an ex-Marine. Like in real life,
Right.
Macy Evans is Macy, whatever the heck her name, Macy Estella. Anyways, she's literally an ex-Marine. So when she first came in, she was like Lady Marine, kind of Army, whatever, and that worked. But now they've kind of
she's
changed
a pinup
her.
girl that like an old school Marine would have.
Yeah, they've kind of changed her.
I get the gimmick. It just feels very.
No, I don't like it.
1995.
I liked what they were doing before. I don't like what they've turned her into. That being said, I still think she's super talented, even though her finisher is a punch.
Totally.
Like
she's
15
good.
minutes of
She's
a
good
wrestling-
at it, but it's just like you see her talking to like Dakota Kai or Shayna Baszler or something. You're like, why is one of them dressed like she's in a 1920s film noir? Like I just don't understand. The
it's
whole
weird.
thing there.
It's weird.
Okay, you talked about trolling. It kind of made me think of song parodies. When I got home from the wedding, Basement Steve was kind of busy. That whole thing where he sang the JT song "Sexy Back." He was all like, "I'm bringing sexy back." What?
It was good. I liked it.
It made you laugh really hard.
It did.
I guess he misses the cheap pops. Because, it's probably easier just to play it. He came up with something. Let me play it for you guys.
Oh, hell yeah. This is Stone Cold Steve Austin, the baddest SOB on this planet. What? I'll leave all you newfangled wrestlers on your ass, and that's the bottom line. If you want me to bring stunners back, then give me a hell yeah. I'm bringing stunners back. What? Been way too long since I whipped someone's ass. What? Open a can of beer and drink it fast. What? Austin 316 says I whipped your ass. What? That's the bottom line, kid. Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, they're all the same. I put all of you some bitches to shame. I'm coming back, I'm gonna save the game. Brock Lesnar's a bitch. You heard me right. Give me a hell yeah. Drink beer all night. Give me a hell yeah. I'm ready for a fight. Give me a hell yeah. Stun anyone in sight. Give me a hell yeah. I'ma open a can. Give me a hell yeah. I'm whoop ass man. Give me a hell yeah. These guys are bitches. Give me a hell yeah. You need some stitches. Give me a hell yeah. What's with the scripts? Give me a hell yeah. Brought your own shit. Give me a hell yeah. Business picked up. Give me a hell yeah. When I showed up. Give me a hell yeah. Middle fingers up. Give me a hell yeah. I didn't give a what. Give me a hell yeah. Who's the sexy Steve? Who's the sexy Steve? You want sympathy, take your ass to church.
What the hell was that? What just happened?
I don't even know how to respond.
What?
It's amazing.
Wow.
I love, so huge Justin Timberlake fan.
You're fucking right. It was amazing. I worked my ass off on that shit. I'm bringing stunners back. What? Been way too long since I whipped someone's ass. Oh, hell yeah.
It's the best part about these parodies that you do is when you find the right character and the right theme, and then you find the right song. Like going back all the way to like Braun, and
It was all Steve. It
how
wasn't
you
me.
used it. Sure, okay.
That's the real Steve.
It's just It works. It just works. So I don't remember who it was that suggested that 2 weeks ago on Just Two Tweets.
Sean in St. Louis.
Thank you for
Sean and STL.
Thank you for spawning this.
So that goes out to you, brother. That was your idea. You spawned something beautiful. So any other suggestions you have, you want to float my way, feel free. But
the beat,
the fact that I hadn't done an Austin parody yet is like ridiculous.
It doesn't make sense. The fact that you didn't think about that till now. So when do you do your Taker parody?
The Taker's already done one, but
Taker did a parody?
Trolling?
Oh yeah.
Doy.
Wow, it's almost like I
right before WrestleMania.
It's almost like I don't work here.
Breathe in now, breathe out.
Yeah.
My hip just gave out.
Trolling.
My hip feels pretty good right now. Except it doesn't. Ow.
You know that song? Remember that one?
Yeah, I remember now. I remember that. That was a long time ago, man. I don't remember.
It's been months and months. That was all the way back in like April. Wow, long time.
Hey, that's 4 months.
I know.
Something like
I feel like we've been doing this show for ages and ages, but it's like we're not even at episode 20.
Yeah, we would be if you stopped going away. And
my YouTube channel really only started picking up steam in like February.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Right around where you stopped getting your DMs.
Yeah, strangely enough, right where I stopped responding to important people with business opportunities.
Whatever.
Yeah, it was really well timed out. Anyway, speaking of the YouTube channel, I'm definitely going to I'm gonna put some more finishing touches on the song. That was obviously the sneak peek that you guys get on the ADCW. You always get it first here, so subscribe to the audio version. Even the audio version of the pod, you get it way before, because the YouTube channel, I don't necessarily get the video version up until like the next day or the day after, so it takes a while. And then the actual songs for the YouTube versions, you're looking at like a week, maybe 2 weeks, depending on when I got time. I'm going to try to throw some stuff together tonight. We'll see. Usually once I start, I can't stop until I finish. But that's the problem. It's like an 8-hour commitment.
Yeah.
Because I'm so neurotic and weird. I'm like I don't know, I'm kind of like a weird creative artsy person.
Here's my question for you.
I start doing something and I have to finish it until the point that it actually becomes like very unenjoyable for me. So I know it's going to be hours of pain and I'm not going to have a good time doing it. But then when it's done, it's this catharsis where I get to watch the video and put it out there, and hopefully people don't just say things like, that's the most I've ever cringed ever, which was like the first thing I saw when I posted the Brock Lesnar video, which, by the way, I hope you guys liked, because I haven't talked about that being out there yet either.
No,
check it out. If you only listen to the show, go to my YouTube channel.
So how many parodies have you done now? Is it enough for an EP?
Oh, it's definitely enough for an EP.
Yeah?
Like full out video parodies, or even just the songs. So you got Rusev Day. It was the first one. That's the OG parody. Still like the king of my heart. That's my favorite. So you got the Rusev Day. Then there's also Rusev Day-ish.
Yeah. Braun
Strowman, how I got over the Ronda's here to point at the WrestleMania sign. Ronda saw the sign. Sees the sign. Trollin', I think, would be the next one. Also, there's
5 there.
Money in the Bank, Monster in the Bank.
You're Matt Hardy.
There's even like a shorter version, not a full song, but the Bury Me Softly. Pinchasa song.
Dude, you're up to like 10, 11 tracks. You got an album.
I do have an album.
You are now officially the Weird Al of wrestling.
That's true. I am officially the Weird Al. Some of them are kind of deep cuts. You know, the Pinchasa song.
That's okay.
And Bury Me Softly. They're like B-sides. They're just concepts.
That's like your poking your eyes out.
Right. Exactly.
Weird Al always has that one tune on every record that is a polka of
where I just kind of mishmash it together like 3 small songs.
I'm telling you need to submit it to Spotify. Just the audio versions. You get your own Spotify.
Well, I can't though, because I'm barely allowed to have them on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I guess
it's not my music.
Fair enough.
It's not my music.
I feel like if you get the right producer, though, the rights could come in. I'm seeing stars, man. I'm seeing stars.
Well, I would have to be getting people to do like musical renditions on their own, like actual covers.
Yeah.
Right? So if there's any musicians out there who want to start making cuts for me, that would be great, because there's things like
a wrestling parody band.
Right, exactly.
This needs to be
being called Katy Parody. I don't know why that just came to my head. That's a terrible pun.
No, you ruined it. It's done. Let's move on to Raw and SmackDown. It's over.
No, but like there's things I want to parody, but there's no instrumental for, and I don't know how to get it. Like Judas by Fozzy.
Fair enough.
I really want to do a parody with that song, but I can't get an instrumental.
For Jericho?
Yes, for Jericho.
Just tweet him.
I've tried.
Oh, all right.
I've tried. He thinks I'm a stupid idiot.
Yeah.
And also the theme Evolution.
Okay.
I wanted the instrumental of that, but I don't think it's out there, because I could do a song about how Evolution is a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
Which we should probably talk about right now.
Evolution is a pay-per-view. Only women, there's no dudes.
Nice.
Yeah, let's talk about it, man.
I see where you're going. It's exciting.
This is the big news of the week, right?
It's exciting. It's
taken us a good 22 minutes to get to it, but here it is.
They always do this, and like this, I don't want to slight the pay-per-view at all, but why do they have to say it 30 times an episode?
Because it's Stephanie McMahon.
And get everyone to say it. It's just, we get it. We heard the announcement.
I forget who tweeted it to me, but the favorite response I got from somebody was like, I really hope Steph doesn't re-injure her arm patting herself on the back over this. I think so true.
You know what? But you know what? She's getting like she's getting a ton of grief over this, where it's always like, oh, Steph has to make the announcement.
You think she gets a bad rap?
She's the COO of a company. If you're at work and there's a huge announcement for something happening at your work, who makes that announcement?
Yeah, and if it's for women, they're probably going to let the woman make the announcement.
Like, people need to chill the hell out. She is the face of the company. It's not Vince McMahon anymore. It's not Triple H. It is Stephanie McMahon. It's just how it is.
That was the most
high horse.
Most underwhelming Vince McMahon appearance ever, don't you think?
Still cool that he was there, though. I didn't expect him to be there at all. I didn't expect Triple H to be there at all. And I think that shows how important this is to them as a company.
Of course, obviously. But like, I was at work and people were like, "Oh, Vince is there tonight. Vince is there," and I'm just like, "Everybody, calm down. It's not going to be a thing.
No,
he's just there. He's just there."
How did Basement Steve feel about Vince being on TV this week?
Oh, I don't know. He's probably going to bring Stunners back right to his front door.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah.
I see.
I'm going to drop that sumbitch on that stack of dimes he calls a neck. It's been too long, Vince. I'm going to kick you in your stomach and drop you on your chin. It's going to be badass.
I'm excited for it. I think it's great. It'll be fun to showcase. They said there's going to be 50 new and future and past superstars. So it should be a lot of fun. I just hope they don't do something stupid like a big battle royale just to get as many people involved. I hope there's they might, but I hope there's story involved. Like,
I'm really excited to see who these women from the future are.
Well, it'll be your NXT folks.
Like, how are they going to go to the future and get women from the future?
God.
And who are the people that are coming from forever? It's going to be the superstars from then, now, forever.
I don't know why I keep doing this with you.
What? They said they're bringing people in from the future. It's going to be the best.
Did they say from the future or the future of the company?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of loopy. I have allergies and I'm out of it.
That was a deep reference right there.
What?
Your song, the future that you just sang there.
Oh, yeah. The Flight of the Conchords.
That was awesome.
I love Flight of the Conchords. Brit.
Fair enough.
Band meeting.
It should be exciting.
Brit. Present.
I loved all the people coming out and be like, "Oh, well, when's the next all men's pay-per-view?" Like, you idiots.
Those people are stupid.
Delete your Twitter, go home, lock yourself in your room.
I love how Murray from Flight of the Conchords has somehow become a character on the show who just shows up intermittently. Band meeting. Brit, are you present? Jermaine?
Yeah, I'm present. There's only two of us.
I missed that show. That show was fantastic. By the way, did you see Triple H's sleeve? What's that all about?
No, I didn't. What are you talking about?
His right sleeve was like 6 inches shorter than his left sleeve, and it made me think the same Big Cass.
Tailor as Big Cass.
Yeah. Everybody was quick to answer with the Big Cass card. Pull the Big Cass card.
No, didn't notice.
Dope suit though. He looked good.
Sure.
His suit was nice. So women that are rumored to be involved are Trish, Lita, Beth Phoenix.
We all just saw them at the Royal Rumble.
Yes, so some of that luster's gone, but that's okay. Maybe they'll have an actual match.
But it'll be awesome to have the NXT women there. I think
maybe they'll have an actual program. Like maybe Trish and Mickie James are going to have a match. They've been tweeting back and forth. And then the NXT and UK women's title are to be defended. The UK women's title is a new thing.
I kind of look forward to the possibility of the 4 MMA horsewomen. Because
you got to fill out the card, right? Because you can't have matches like, you just can't have like, I don't know, Ember Moon and like Alexa Bliss.
And it won't be like
filling out the card, like the Iconics versus the Riot Squad. And just like,
I think the 2 women's belts will be full on story. And then I think everything else will have kind of slow builds, like you said, like Trish and Mickie James or something like that.
There's rumors that they're going to switch the titles. Ronda Rousey winning the championship at SummerSlam would make a lot of sense.
Looks like Carmella's going to lose the belt.
Yeah, Becky. Well, it looks that way, but who knows? But Becky Lynch has been coming on pretty strong.
Yep.
And both of the current champions matches have proved to be a little boring, a little uninteresting.
A little bit.
So, obviously, we're going to keep you guys up to date on what's going on there. So, let's talk about Roman Reigns.
Who?
Roman Reigns. Fuck, stop doing that. I hate it when you do that.
I haven't done it in a while. I wanted to bring it back.
What? Roman Reigns is going to SummerSlam to face Brock Lesnar.
No way.
again.
Didn't see it coming.
Were you expecting something other than a clean finish in this match? Because
no. I
was.
I was fully expecting some sort of interference. I thought it was going to be a triple threat.
So your answer is yes. Not
Sorry,
no.
yeah, I got it backwards there.
Yeah,
but
you're confused.
But it was rumored that this was going to be the match after he lost at WrestleMania. So why anyone would be surprised or annoyed or any of that crap? You were literally told this 3 months ago. This was going to be the match.
Yeah, but nobody wants it. It's crazy.
Of course nobody wants it because we've seen it. This is the 5th time.
I really, really felt like there was going to be an interesting way for them to get there if they did. I honestly can't believe that it is still the match. Like, it's just such an underwhelming match.
It seems so weird.
And it's just like, how many matches in a row can Brock have against Roman Reigns?
Honestly, at this point, I hope Brock wins. I do. Because if Roman wins, it just seems cheap and set up. Like, why didn't you just do this at WrestleMania? Because there was really no point other than to put Brock's name above.
Because it's Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
I want Brock to win and drop the title on Monday. Draw himself. I want him to give up the title. I don't need this shit anymore. I'm going back to real fighting. That's what I want from Brock. If he loses to Roman Reigns,
that's a pretty big waste of like the whole Undertaker storyline and
it's better. It saves Brock if he wants to come back. It's better than Roman Reigns just magically the 5th time around being able to beat him. Finally,
no, he technically did beat him at the Greatest Royal Rumble.
No, he didn't. His foot was caught in the apron.
Yeah,
by an inch.
Here's my thing. Elias should have ruined this match and at least postponed a real championship match until later.
Yep.
So we didn't know right away that it was Roman and Brock.
Well, we have
how many times did Elias get
now.
Screwed out of that win? Like, Elias should have come out and smashed the guitar on the back of Bobby Lashley in the middle of the match when Lashley was poised to win. And then he could have, spiraled into a match series with Lashley. Like, Elias and Lashley are pretty evenly matched guys. They're big dudes. So that works. And how many times can Elias just shut down trying to perform his new EP without retaliating? It would have been perfect. That was like 100%. They're foreshadowing this all night. I'm like, Elias just got screwed over again by Lashley.
Like 6 times.
He's so unimpressed. He just walked backstage. I'm like, oh, man. Start the clock now. How long until Elias comes out with his guitar and smashes it over the head of Bobby Lashley? This is going to be great. Roman Reigns just won.
Clean. With a spear. After getting speared. That finished him 2 weeks ago.
By the way, how bad was Lashley's spear at Extreme Rules? It was like really bad.
Yeah, well, didn't he like just bury his face in Roman's chest?
He just jumped and he tucked his legs under his body.
I didn't know what happened. I actually didn't realize it was a spear until they said spear. It
was like the most underwhelming way to defeat Roman Reigns. But I don't know.
I didn't even know that was his finisher.
I thought his finisher was just a suplex.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like a pretty decent held up. Regular.
See, what happens
suplex.
is all the blood rushes to your head and then he falls down and it hurts more. So it's a good suplex.
I like the punch finish more than a suplex finish, I suppose.
Punch finish?
Yeah, Lacey Evans.
Oh, right.
Or Cassius Ohno, wherever you want to go with that.
Man, on Monday, that stupid corner clothesline that Roman Reigns does was just killing me again. Just so stupid. Like, always. Roman Reigns just battering the side and neck of Bobby Lashley's head. I'm like, no, he's not. He's just putting his cushiony biceps up against Lashley very lightly. Yeah. They're basically having a big hug in the corner.
It's a break time.
The other title picture is much more exciting to me right now. Holy shit.
It's just SmackDown. Like SmackDown just in general.
Half my notes are SmackDown notes because it's all I want to talk about.
Because it's so much better.
Samoa Joe is confirmed to be facing AJ Styles after a fantastic attack on a distracted AJ after the firing of one stupid James Ellsworth.
That whole segment
Get out of here, James.
Was awesome. It was so good. I actually didn't see the firing coming until he started to like make fun of Paige. I was like, oh, I see where they're going here. Yeah. But everything else, like the whole bringing him out to like, here's your opponent, and then he comes out, like all that was great.
I'll beat you 3 times.
And then the way Joe gets in there and just attacks him from behind and signs the paper without actually being like, SmackDown just does everything better. Period.
It just feels like SmackDown feels like the evolution of NXT. Like it just feels like that next step where you go up to the main roster and then the storylines continue with the similar style of good matches and good wrestlers. And for some reason, it just manages to feel fresh and have new faces all the time. Like I was legitimately excited to see R-Truth come back and wrestle Samoa Joe. And I can't tell you the last time I was excited for an R-Truth match. Yeah. And it's just because it was a fresh face against a fresh opponent on a new show.
He looked good, too.
Well, R-Truth has been 29 years old for 30 years. So he just, what's up? He's never going to age ever.
That, like, spinning corkscrew friggin' shoulder
like
check or whatever that he did.
Like,
course, it was awesome.
Man, like, he was K-Quick.
Yeah.
Him and the Road Dogg were a tag team back in like 2000.
It was cool. But you're so right. It's like SmackDown has kind of the perfect show where they always have a great beginning, a decent like mid-card, middle, and then something amazing that happens at the end.
You notice again, Daniel Bryan closed out the show.
Oh,
not AJ Styles.
Yes.
That's totally the way they do it now. They're like, no, AJ, you're right in the middle of the show. I don't know why AJ's telling AJ that he's in the middle of the show. This is the house that he built. He also produces himself.
I don't know. Even Joe going up to Paige after the commercial backstage, and she was like, "That's not how we did." Like I was going to announce it, and like just everything that it's just. The writing is great. The script, maybe they don't have a script. Maybe that's the difference. They're letting these guys go a little bit. I don't know, but it's just so much better in every facet. And I feel like
everybody's wanted Joe and Styles too for a long time.
For sure. And I feel like even if you brought some of the Raw superstars to SmackDown with that creative, it would still be just as good.
Well, that's what this is. I feel like that's Samoa Joe is here, right?
Yeah.
My hopes are that this is kind of the feud that we had hoped that Styles and Nakamura would have been from Jump Street. Like an actual vicious attack, and now they have deep-seated issues, and there's history there that they can play off of from TNA, right? Yep. Like Samoa Joe and AJ Styles had one of the best feuds of all time, for Impact Wrestling.
TNA,
or of all time, depending on your tastes. But you talk about like the lack of scripting. We're going to jump around a little bit here. I'm jumping way down to number 8 here on my rundown. But Randy Orton's heel turn.
Thank God.
And his attack on Jeff Hardy's ear. Like,
I'm interested in Randy Orton again.
I know he was probably fully scripted, but it felt like they...
Was he, though?
It felt like maybe they gave, loosen the reins a little bit and let him go out there and just kind of shoot from the hip. Like, it was more interesting than I've heard him be in, honestly, years. Probably since before his title reign back in like 13, 12.
I haven't cared about Randy Orton for at least 2 years.
Long time.
Yeah.
So heel Randy's best Randy, definitely. Like I like hearkening back to the Legend Killer thing and just saying that like every superstar here is eating at the table that I set for you. And I don't know.
I like that he called out all these people, like how excited people get about the indie guys being signed. And I'm saying this after how excited I just got about Matt Riddle. But I feel like
I'm going to pull Matt Riddle by his ear.
I feel like they gave him pointers. Like these are the couple things we need you to hit, and the rest was him. Because it seemed more genuine than we've seen him.
Randy strikes me as this kind of guy he's there. Obviously, he's very talented. He's very smooth, but he sort of plays it safe, right? There's rumors about him not wanting to, like the Seth Rollins RKO that they did at WrestleMania in San Francisco.
Yep.
The curb stomp that he did. Like, there's stories that he didn't really want to do that because he was afraid they would screw it up, and he wanted to play it a little more safe. And he's kind of like that in storylines, too. He's just like very low-key, very, whatever. It's kind of boring, Randy Orton stuff. But he seemed like he had a bit of a fire under his ass. Yeah. And I think that's because they're like, we want to talk about you again, like as the Legend Killer. We want to talk about how you've been here for so long, and we want to hit on the fact that you are a legend now. Like, you are here, you're the top guy, and we're going to treat you as such.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that it's a feud with Jeff Hardy, I guess that's okay.
I like it. This could be a good reason for him to quote unquote hurt Jeff, and Jeff take some time off.
Sure, that would work.
He kind of hit on a couple times, and I feel like this is one of those points where I said he had pointers. I feel like he talked about killing or ending the career of Jeff Hardy,
right?
Because we're starting to see Brother Nero come out a little bit.
Yeah.
Even on the live, like the house shows and stuff that he's doing, he's got the neck paint that says Nero on it. Like, I feel like this may be where
he kind of is doing the Nero thing.
He's
right
there,
now.
like he's kind of in and out. Yeah, it's kind of like what Matt was doing before he got the official okay to do the woke and stuff.
Yeah, it's a little of both. But like, also he wore less paint when he was Brother Nero. He did like just the black and white with like the I don't know. Anyway, Sasha and Bayley love each other. How do we feel about this? Have they salvaged this angle? Because the whole therapy thing is totally gone.
The therapy
that was a failure. They were just like, you know what? We heard how you guys talked about it on ADCW.
Yeah, they listened to the show.
They're like, you know what? ADC and Matt the Mark hated this. We better pivot. Let's pivot right now.
I think I like this because I still think that the heel turn is coming. I don't know if it's Sasha. I don't know if it's Bayley, but I feel like this is setting up exactly what you said, where they will become friends. They'll be tagging together, and then there'll be a turn.
Then front pony. Hashtag front pony.
Sure. If it's, you know what? I kind of hope it's Bayley because everyone thinks it's going to be Sasha.
I still want Bayley to turn heel, come out, do the Baron Corbin entrance where she just hangs the front pony down.
It's got to be soaking wet though, so it's just like stringy.
My pony's at the front. No, but in my opinion, like they're out there as their besties now. They love each other. It's all good. They're squashing jobbers as a tag team for women, which was totally weird, but that's fine. Yeah. And Kirsch was like, yeah, another teammates. Now you get easy competition. See how easy it is to be friends?
Yeah.
But in my opinion, they're back on track for a Bayley heel turn. That's totally what it is. Like, Sasha's the one who said, I love you. Like, I'm always going to love you. We're good friends. Bayley should be the one who's been playing along this whole time. And it's just like, you think you can smooth things over by saying you love me after all this stupid shit you put me through and just like viciously attack her, demolish her after another easy win.
Yeah.
Just like attack her from behind.
I'd be okay with that.
Like, it's over.
Yeah.
Now they're rivals.
I'd be okay with that. I also feel like this, it's Sasha saying, oh, I love you, stab in the back.
Yes.
Like I can see it from both angles. I hope it's Bayley because
I love you. They go for a hug and then Bayley to belly. It's perfect out of a hug.
I hope she gets a new finisher.
Well, she could.
She better.
She could.
She
could start doing a backstabber.
Sure. It'll be a Bayley to backy.
She could do a backstabber, but it could be called the bank stabber because she stabs banks in the back.
I don't care
money
what
in
it
the
is.
back
Stop it.
Bank,
Stop.
Bunny in the
You're
bank.
lost. You're lost.
Women's title match. Oh, no, I've gone Kurt.
Yeah.
You know what worries me, though? We're months out from WWE Evolution.
Yes.
Here's a pay-per-view.
Are they going to make us wait until October for this fucking heel turn?
It could. They very well. I mean, they've waited this long.
Like, why not? Right?
I mean, I'm still not.
They're just they're still doing job matches in September.
I don't know how this. If that is their ultimate goal, I don't know how this isn't the SummerSlam matchup. But it's just it's gone so long, and it's actually too close now. Where if there was a heel turn like upcoming week, it's too soon.
I think you can do it where it's the first of a few matches at SummerSlam. You know what? Like you get a match at SummerSlam, then they have a match again in September at whatever pay-per-view, and then you get the blow off at Evolution, where it's like high stakes, really important, where we're finally really invested in this whole thing and it means a lot at a big pay-per-view for women. And maybe they're up near the top of the card, or maybe they're just, a big, like I'm talking a takeover Brooklyn kind of situation.
But that just means that we had Bayley beat the crap out of Sasha, therapy, makeup, and then have another heel turn all in the span of 5 weeks. And then be ready for a SummerSlam match? Like,
they can have a match. There's still weeks before SummerSlam. It's not even August.
Any match they have at this point has to be like a vicious grudge match.
No,
it can't just be a regular like we're gonna fight because we're mad.
Well, the first one, that's how it works though. Look at AJ and Nakamura. Their first match, they were like still friends.
Yeah, but
and then
AJ and Nakamura didn't have a
else.
year buildup of this crap already happening.
Okay, but you can still have a feud start with a hot match and continue.
I think you're wrong.
Well, I think it's definitely Bayley who's going to turn heel.
I hope so.
Saying I love you is very weighty. Sasha said it. Bayley needs to break that bond and go full out front pony. Braun Strowman's Money in the Bank briefcase is on the line at SummerSlam.
I don't get this.
I do.
I understand why people would get it, but why give him the briefcase then? And what is the reasoning for having this match?
I think it's lack of foresight. I think you give Braun the briefcase because it's a good pop. People will react. It's fun. You get the Monster in the Bank thing. But I think this happens. I think this is way more interesting than Strowman cashing in at some point. I think that Kevin Owens is going to weasel his way into the briefcase and then weasel his way back to being Universal Champion at some point.
I'm okay with it.
And then you get the built-in story of Kevin Owens never really earning that Universal title. The first time Triple H handed it to him.
That's true.
He's like, I pedigreed Seth Rollins. Here's your title. Just take it, you chubby bastard. And then just Kevin Owens gets maybe after, I don't know, Braun Strowman or somebody comes out later in the evening to get, even, or Elias comes out and smashes Brock and everybody with a guitar. And Kevin Owens just like, holy shit, I'm champion. This is amazing. and runs away laughing, and everybody's like, "Fucking Kevin." What's your problem, Kevin?
And like, I'm fine with all that. I just don't understand the thought process of being like, no, this, like, we should have a match for who gets the briefcase, even though Braun won it fair and square.
Because Kevin weaseled his way into it, man. He's like, I'll take the match, but the briefcase has to be on the line. And Braun, being the big babyface badass that he is, he can't say no. He can't be a bitch about it.
He can't be like, Kevin, I can't do it, but there's your car.
It just seems thin to me. I don't know. I don't
know how he could lose it.
So why wouldn't, like, every single time someone would just be like, I want a match for the briefcase so that I get it?
Because the creative can't do it too many times. I don't know. you just try to apply logic to pro wrestling.
I mean, I thought maybe, well, he won the cage match, technically, so maybe that's the reason for getting the
there you go. He won.
Match, but I don't know. The Money in the Bank isn't the title. It's literally just a contract.
I threw you off a cage and lost my briefcase.
Like, I get it when it's like WWE Championship or something like that, and you beat the champion and be like, well, now I want a title shot because I beat the champion. But this is just a briefcase. And he's like, well, I beat the guy with the briefcase, so I get the briefcase. I don't know. It's just so thin to me.
Anything is up for grabs if you ask the GM to put it up for grabs. It's like a poker match.
Okay.
You get to the end of the poker match, you're like, well, I'm out of chips, but here are my car keys. Let's do this. And if the other guy says okay, it's okay. But
I suppose.
You know how Braun could easily lose it? Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal is angry.
I hope not.
Braun spurned his efforts to become friends and get his calmness, his temper down, and bring out his inner calm. And then he attacked Samir Singh.
I think Jinder's just back to jobber status with this new silly calmness character that he's doing.
What's he saying? I don't know what the word is. I got to look that up. Shati.
Yeah.
Just Shati.
I don't know. I don't think that's
it kind of
made
me laugh.
But
I'll be honest.
I don't mind it. It's better than Jinder still running around as the modern day Maharaja with not even really being on TV ever anymore. So
yeah, but I think that Brock just kind of disrespecting him that way could bring out a bit of that aggressive Braun. Sorry, disrespecting him that way could bring out a bit of that aggressiveness again.
Yeah.
And it could be a guy that's, I don't know, Vince loves the big guys, right? So
True.
It could be a big dude for Braun to run through after SummerSlam if there's any kind of implication. Or it could be just a match leading up to SummerSlam on Raw, like this week, where Braun just demolishes Jinder Mahal and then we don't see him again for a while.
Which is possible.
It's totally possible. Let's talk about Daniel Bryan and The Miz.
Okay.
Do you wish there was a little more focus on the stuff Miz said about him on Talking Smack, or do you think that they're on track here?
I think they're on track. I
feel like it's too on the nose to just like go right back to like, well, guess what? Now I want to talk about the stuff I said on Talking Smack. Yeah. It was awesome.
I think the build needs to be there because now that they can actually have a feud, and I also like I feel like they're going to have a match at SummerSlam.
Because we all get it. Like we get why Daniel doesn't like The Miz.
Sure.
If you've been watching, you understand why Daniel was like.
But that's assuming you've been
I'm
watching.
coming out here and ruining your party.
I feel like they kind of have to do like a previously on, but it's over a couple weeks of building the story back up.
It's almost like they should do like a video package before a big match that wraps stuff up for people who may not be in the know.
But they never do that.
Yeah, they should start doing that.
I like it though. I think we need a slower build, and I hope this is kind of one I hope goes on for a couple months.
Yeah, I really hope they don't fast track this. Like this could go all the way to next year's WrestleMania if Daniel Bryan sticks around, which I think he will.
It sounds like he will. Yeah.
Seriously though, I just want to ask the foundation, like, where is Snitsky when you need him to come out and just punt that baby? Because that wasn't no baby.
No, there were tweets showing. There were tweets. It's out there.
There must have been a lot of Snitsky gifs.
There was a lot. Yes.
That would have been awesome. That would have been really awesome.
I just cough sneezed.
Yeah.
That was weird.
Yeah.
My eyes are watering.
You snoffed.
Anyways, yeah, no, I'm excited that Miz and Daniel Bryan are finally going at it. I did not watch Miz and Mrs.
No. I'm sure my wife will start watching it.
I did like as soon as you saw him walk out with the baby, you're like, fake baby. Like, immediately, fake baby.
I was totally wondering that myself, too. At first, I was like, isn't it weird to bring your baby out with all those people
fake
and those
baby.
speakers? And I was like, that can't be a real baby, right? There's no way that's the real baby. And then when Daniel Bryan was coming out, I'm like, that's not a real baby.
Miz is going to throw the baby at Daniel. Like, it was very telegraphed, but I still loved it.
Yeah. Welcome to the most obvious fake baby scene ever.
But I don't know. Even like they started the show with Miz getting out, then Maurice, then going back in and getting all those little things. Again, it's just SmackDown just being awesome. It's just such a good show.
The Miz always manages to feel like a great, giant, big star on SmackDown.
It's amazing how he's no title, nothing like that. Hasn't been anywhere near the top championship, and yet
Good
he
to have,
still feels
Maurice
like the
back,
top
too.
guy. Yeah, I mean, I think she was just back for the premiere. It's not like she's back.
Probably.
Yeah.
She's got a baby to take care of.
Yes.
Legit.
Yeah.
The Sin Cara can't watch their baby forever.
That was random, but also made me laugh a lot. Then he holds the diapers at the end. He's like, "Well, we tried." Like, what? What do you mean? What are you talking about?
I tried. Come to Uncle Sin Cara. He was a cutie pie.
Honestly,
Coochie.
for those of you that can't see that is literally Andrew talking with his hand over his mouth.
No, that's I put a Sin Cara mask on. I say,
Peekaboo. Peekaboo. Who's the cute baby? Who's the cute baby? Who's the cute baby?
Oh boy!
and then he gets his ass kicked by Andrade Cien Almas. That's how it works when Uncle Sin Cara comes to babysit.
Out of everyone on the show that they could have got for that spot,
They're like, who the hell needs camera time?
I don't understand
we
why.
want to
it was
sell
Sin
some
Cara,
masks. Put this guy on TV.
Whatever. How about Andre? Oh wow!
Andrade Cien Almas.
I'm having a hard time. How about him and Rusev there having a match?
They had a great match.
It was awesome.
That was part of what I talk about with SmackDown, just having like fresh faces,
It's
fresh
great.
feuds. Like, and then you get clearly Rusev is now the baby face. Like that was definitely a baby face.
It has to be, yeah.
And then Lana is out there with them, and
I mean, they're teasing the split of Aiden, obviously.
Yes,
very obviously. But
so what I wanted to ask here is, do we get Rusev and Almas at SummerSlam, or do we get Rusev and English at SummerSlam?
It's a good question. I don't know. I feel
Maybe
like
neither of you are good for Rusev Day.
Yeah, see, and I just think the Almas match is good for him in terms of a push because he's beating top guys now. He's not jobbing or beating jobbers.
They just had to get, people were freaking out that he was wrestling Sin Cara so many times. I'm like, yeah, he's got to establish
and they were awesome
himself over
matches. They were great. So relax.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think beating him in this way where Aiden kind of interrupts, like I think that leads more to Rusev and Aiden splitting, having a match. Whatever.
That's a bigger match in a way.
It is. There's no build up between Rusev and Andrade right now, right? They just.
It was
Lana,
good,
though. Yeah, it was. Lana and Selena bumped into each other in the back, and that was, let's have a match. So that's fine. But I think this Rusev Aiden thing is the right way to go.
Are there any plans for Vega to wrestle?
She didn't wrestle in NXT.
No.
I don't think.
I don't know if she's got like an injury or something, but like she's full-blown
She's
talent.
talented, though. So I don't know. Maybe at some point, maybe ever. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe part of the evolution.
Here's a pay-per-view. Only women. There's no dudes.
Had to wait.
Obviously.
It had to land. It had to land.
Yeah.
We talked about James Ellsworth being fired. I guess he's gone.
Is he?
I think he's gone.
So at first I was like, okay, this is part of story. And then on Twitter, he's like, I'll have a response. And he started the hashtag rehire Ellsworth and all this crap. I was like, okay, so this is definitely work. Then he actually put out a really good, like a really nice statement about his time the last 2 years in WWE and how he was thankful and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe actually this is the end. And he's finally saying goodbye and thank you for his time.
Well, now I don't know what to think. I didn't put much thought into it.
But now he's still got the hashtag. And now I've read something that he's looking for lawyers to get back at Paige because she unlawfully whatever the blah. So now I don't know. I went from this is a work to no, this is definite to now it's a work.
When
again,
you think of the actual way it was presented on screen, it feels very much like a work.
Of course.
Like you don't just say you're fired and then boot somebody out the door and then they're just written off television. Not ever in wrestling. What usually happens is he shows up in the crowd wearing a Sin Cara mask like and
maybe that's the babysitter.
Yeah, pretends he's babysitting and then, pulls Becky's leg or something and Carmella wins the match.
Well, and that's kind
of a rehash. They've been doing that for a while.
But it's the only way Carmella can realistically keep the belt.
But
storyline
if you know that they want to possibly change the situation for the titles,
then it makes sense.
Then maybe just James is kind of gone and she can't defend it. And then unfortunately Carmella probably goes way down the ranks.
She'll disappear for a little while for sure. Which is fine.
Yeah.
She's had her moment.
It's fine.
Like she's for the year and a half, she's essentially been at the top. She didn't always appear with the briefcase, but you always knew she was the briefcase holder. and then she won the title and has
That's
had
true.
it for like 3 months.
And then you know what happened? She beat Charlotte Flair. She beat Charlotte Flair. She beat Charlotte Flair. She beat Charlotte Flair.
Twice. I beat Asuka twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I beat Charlotte Flair. Anyway.
I hope Becky wins.
Not much else to talk about this week, but the leaders of worlds turned heel, I think.
I was wondering that too, because they attacked them after the match.
Yeah, wait, that was wonderful, and then they kicked their ass. So that's totally a heel move, which is exciting if it's true. But also,
I hope it's
true,
true,
how I feel
right?
about it. Just show me the fucking vignettes, or don't show me them at all.
Right. And maybe them turning heel will have more stuff at home. Maybe we'll get another match at home. Who knows?
Well, they can be heel. Like the broken Matt Hardy stuff, he was totally heel.
Yeah.
When they were doing a lot of that shit. And it was
So
hilarious.
maybe that's where they're going. And I hope that's the case. Again, they've been listening to the show.
Know. Yes.
They've been listening to us.
Well, totally.
And they know that's what we want.
Yep. Like, what else is going on in the tag scene right now?
Sanity. What the
we'll get to that. We'll get to that for sure. But the Raw scene now,
Raw.
I guess we're probably going to have to get another match between the Leaders of Worlds and B Team, right? Because
there's gotta
that was
be,
kind of an unsolicited, malicious attack. But other than that, you've got
AOP's feuding with
the AOP and the Titus Worldwide is kind of the only other thing going on there. And then you've got, I guess you've got no fists, no flips, just fists. Revival, just waiting in the wings, watching the TV at an awkward angle backstage.
After being like top spots, pinning Roman Reigns. They haven't been on TV for 2 weeks.
You got to think in storyline, they're sort of the number one contenders.
I would think so.
In waiting.
They have to be.
Then the AOP will probably make a name for themselves by destroying Titus Worldwide, despite that.
I think
they're
much. Slowly building those guys, but sure.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. It's weird. It's the tag division. It seemed like they had the talent there, and they just, again, don't know how to have the right creative side for it.
Yeah.
It's like they have 3 hours for Raw, but they can't find enough time to get more people involved in the title picture or to seem important.
Yeah. Even though the cruiserweights are off the show.
Yeah. It's crazy.
By the way, how great is it that Titus even managed to trip over his line about how he tripped and fell at the world's the greatest Royal Rumble. That was so hilarious. That was so perfect. I was just like, oh, Titus.
I love
You're the best.
Love him.
The only guy who screws up more lines is Heath Slater, and he's just funny when he does it.
But at least he kind of
just says words that aren't real words. Sanity or jobbers. There's no other way to put it.
I don't know. It seemed like they were building these guys up, and then they just knocked them down. I honestly thought they were going to beat New Day. I thought they were going to be the ones going to face Bludgeon Brothers, but at the same time, both heels, so I don't understand.
They're like the exact same thing.
Whoa. They don't even get to the final match. I don't know. It's just...
I know we disagree here, but I see why this is happening. I don't see marketability in Sanity. I really don't. Like
I
Eric
can't
Young,
disagree anymore.
Eric Young's a talented guy. He always makes the best of what he's given. He's been around for a long time. But Sanity themselves, I don't know. I don't see that many people getting behind them. I don't see people buying their merch. I'm going to get a bad rap for just hating on Alexander Wolf. But I don't see any marketability in this guy. I don't see any value in like an Alexander Wolf. I look at him. I just see Vince looking at me like, what the fuck's this guy's deal? God, look at those arms. They're so just noodly. Yeah. What is that blonde hair? He's so pale.
They might be more successful as Eric Young being a singles guy with having 2 goons. Even though
I see Vince liking Killian Dane.
He's great. So I don't know. But at the same time, I mean, Bray Wyatt had Braun Strowman, right? And so it could be possible. I don't know. In NXT, when Insanity first came out, I loved them. I loved everything about what they were doing and what they were being kind of portrayed as. And then even in NXT, they kind of lost muster, like through injuries and all that. And
they just feel kind of like a rehash of the Wyatt family to me right now. Like they're just a little lost because we've seen stuff like this. And if they're not being really like actually vicious and attacking people and ruthless, then what are they? They're just weirdos.
And goddamn, pal, they're pale.
I'm sure there's a contract reason why they're on SmackDown and not being sent back to NXT.
You know what's the funny thing about this is like I'll say this kind of stuff, and then in like 2 weeks they'll win the tag titles, and I'll be like, oh, I was wrong. Sure. They did like them. It just wasn't their time yet.
That's why wrestling's fun.
Yeah. The real answer is just also, not everybody can win.
And we're not experts. We have no idea what we're
talking
about.
Stop saying that, man. I'm such an expert.
This is opinion-based only.
No. Yeah. I'm only an expert at singing JT songs as Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Even then, that's flimsy.
Wait,
What? You motherfuckers shouldn't say shit like that. What?
He can rhyme like at all times.
he's a freestyler.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Side note, we got the Bar and the Usos next week. Can we just have the Usos carry the tag titles indefinitely, please? Like, they're such a great tag team. And
They really
I know
are.
they kind of, they had their run, over the last year and stuff. But, I don't know. I love them.
Did
They're
Cesaro
great.
and Sheamus get, the World Cup off? Is that just what happened? They just like soccer so much that they got the month off? They
Yeah.
just disappeared, and now they come back, and they have soccer jersey, the Bar shirts, and they just
Nice.
magically they're in this tournament, even though they haven't been anywhere near TV for a month.
I guess just everyone's in the tournament, right? There's no other tag teams that aren't in the tournament, are there?
There has to be. There isn't five. There's got to be more than five. Of course, now I can't think of it.
Are there, though?
Well, she named the teams.
Who's not in it, though?
I don't know. Now,
R-Truth and
Now I'm
Ty
stumped.
Dillinger? The Perfect Truth? Is that the only team that's not
who
in
are we
it?
missing? Hey, Foundation. Who are we missing?
I don't know.
Are there only 5 tag teams on SmackDown right now? Is that real?
Rusev Day is a tag team, technically.
No.
But not really. Team Hell No is no longer.
No, yeah.
Because I guess that Kane is just gone.
Kane apparently was legitimately hurt, though.
Was he really? See,
Yeah, so apparently he got hurt
full
before the
disclosure,
pay-per-view.
I fell asleep during that match when I was watching it, and I haven't gone back to watch it.
No. So apparently he got hurt before the pay-per-view, so the whole angle of the beatdown and the leg stuff was just a reason to cover up his actual injury. I read that. I don't know how true that is,
I can see that.
but it makes sense.
In my opinion, they just got to get the title off the Bludgeon Brothers.
They're too boring. They can't. They're
You gotta
not.
watch your ass, kid.
Sorry, Steve.
They're not doing promos. They're not having matches. They're all they do is kind of show up in weird vignettes with holding hammers. I know they're legit.
Fucking right, they have hammers. Bludgeon Brothers are the shit. What? I love their hammers. Bludgeon Brothers are the shit.
I guess he went outside.
It sounded like he was falling asleep.
I agree though. They're kind of boring.
Look, it's Steve's world. We're just living in it.
That's true.
Also, the Iconics are jobbers.
That's fine.
I have no notes here. They just are. Told you so.
They're fine. That's fine.
They're just jobbers.
Until there's some sort of reason for them to be a team, it's fine for them to job out to people like Becky and Asuka.
The only reason would be a
still
women's
like
tag title situation, and I don't know if I think that's going to happen at Evolution or not. But I could see them
doing
instating
a
a
build
new
towards it.
championship
Yeah.
and then having it being awarded at that show,
Yeah.
which would make a lot of sense.
It absolutely would.
It would be just like the Cruiserweight Classic or the Mae Young Classic kind of thing.
I
but
hope-
on the main roster.
I hope if they do that though, I hope Stephanie announces it just to piss everyone off.
Right.
Because for whatever reason, apparently she's not allowed to announce stuff on her show.
All right, let's get into just 2 tweets.
The following segment was paid for by the ADCs of wrestling.
Hey, yo. This is just 2 tweets.
Two tweets.
Can I just say this? Do you know how fucking cool it is that I can search a hashtag on Twitter and see a bunch of great comments from people who listen to our show? How awesome
It's pretty
is
cool.
that?
It's pretty awesome.
This is the house that ADC built, but the foundation
And I like
are
that
a
we-
very important part of this house.
And I like that we keep seeing new people too.
New people kind of work their way in, but then there's the faithful who are
Yeah.
always there, even when I'm like, we're
love
not
it.
going to do a show this week. I'm sorry. I hate myself for it. And
they
people are
hate
like,
you for it.
what? You piece of... No, I'm just kidding. We'll be back.
Yeah.
Do you, brother. Do you.
That's pretty cool, man. There's a nice little base, a nice little foundation, if you will. But I love
That's
seeing
why they're
that
called
there's
the
new people and
foundation,
stuff.
man.
It's great.
The house that ADC built was built on top of the foundation.
It's
You know what
fun.
I'm saying?
Love interacting with people.
You hold us up. So speaking of being away, from last week, there were just 2 tweets here that I thought were really funny that I wanted to bring in. Jim Martin at Latouton says, I'm somewhat behind in my wrestling, but I have to think there's a comedy goldmine in the fact that Constable Baron Corbin's initials are CBC. It's a very Canadian joke for people.
Yeah, if you're not from Canada, you won't get that.
But his hashtags here are what made me laugh. Hashtag the road to parts unknown. Hashtag belly face night in Canada. Hashtag this hairline has 22 follicles.
Oh my God.
Hashtag kind of looks like Peter Mansbridge.
That's awesome. I didn't
That was
even
great.
see those.
That was pretty good, eh?
Yeah, thanks, Jim. That's
Very
great.
funny there, bud. Raider Max House Stark, the constant. We got a lot of tweets from people here, but I might have to just
Go through them all.
audit them while I'm going here because there's some repeats, and I don't know if people.
okay. Go
I don't know if
through.
the foundation want to hear 4 tweets from the same people, or
Whatever.
maybe
go
just
through
make
it.
them step up their game.
Just go through it.
Anyway, while we were away for last week's show, he said, "Do you think if we were on Raw, Kurt Angle would call you Mark the Mattiest.
No, I still think that would be too close to the actual thing. It'd probably be more like Mart.
It'd be Mike the Matt.
Mart the Matt. I don't know.
You could take on you, Marky Matt. Matt the Marquis.
He would totally screw it up.
Yeah. Like 100%. The Jinder Mahal.
It wouldn't even be close.
Matthew the Mirk.
The Wubba Dubba Champion.
You, W Wubby Champion, Merkel Matty.
I love Kurt so much. I love him so much. Oh.
He's the best. Okay. Mary Carr at Mary Carr 5. Hey, Mary, are you Croatian at all? I have some family whose name is Carr, spelt that way. Oh, no, it's C-A-R, but it's pronounced Tsar. I'm just wondering. She said, Andrew David Cox, did you ever get unblocked by Steve Austin?
We were just talking about this, actually.
Yeah. No, I didn't. And I'm going to be honest, I think it's probably about to get a lot worse. Jonathan at Video Gaming For You says, I wonder if Elias and Vince McMahon could do a cover of Vince's song Stand Back. What do you say, Andrew David Cox and Matt DeMarcus? I think that would be fantastic. I would love to see Vince out there on stage strutting his stuff with Elias playing guitar. Like, it'd be like Elias and the Walkamaniacs back there. Or bring Hogan back to play bass back there. I'm sure he's a fantastically talented bass player.
We didn't even talk about Hogan.
Let me tell you something, brother. I'm the best bass player that's ever happened, Jack. I know what I'm doing when I'm strumming those strings, brother. Get on the back of the largest arms in the world, and I'll carry you to musical goodness. What you gonna do when Matt the Mark talks about what's up with Hulk Hogan right now?
Yeah, we kind of forgot about that
He's
in our
totally
2 weeks
coming
off.
back.
Not even. I don't know if. I'm sure we'll see him on TV at some point. I don't know in what capacity.
Or the fact that people have been tweeting their opinions.
More
like Titus,
the controversy
Lashley.
of him being back in the Hall of Fame, which is fine if he were.
Oh, of course, the reinstatement.
Yeah, we kind of missed.
Duh.
We glanced over that completely. I'm fine with him being reinstated because I am one. Like, I believe in second chances. What I'm not okay with, and what we didn't hear until the New Day and Titus brought it to light, is that he didn't necessarily apologize for what he said. He apologized for getting caught.
Yeah.
And that's what's not okay about this.
I agree. I actually don't really want to get too deep into that issue,
me either.
honestly, because it's a topic that's been discussed so long. It's a debate that's been had many a time. I honestly leave it more up to the African American members of the locker room to decide amongst them if they think Hogan should be back in the fold, and if they don't, then power to them.
They've decided that they believe in second chances, but
Titus hasn't.
Titus didn't do it the right way.
Put out like a long statement saying that like he doesn't believe that Hogan has paid his dues, or that he really necessarily sees truth or conviction in what Hogan said.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
But that's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't sound like
I think Lashley put out the thing saying none of my business. Or something like
Lashley basically decided not to comment.
Yeah,
which I feel like that's a pretty loud comment.
It's a loud comment, but also it says I'm getting a push right now, and I don't want to stir the boat.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Tip the boat.
Either way, interesting, and I can't believe we completely forgot to put that up at the top of the news.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
Scott Debuscher, Scotty 0015 says, I can't take full credit for this. So who does take credit, Scotty? In your opinion, if Elias ever won the IC title, would that put him over both Jeff Jarrett and Honky Tonk Man? I say this because they never released an album. And then he says, hashtag just 2 tweets, hashtag too many stupid people, hashtag punch them in the face. I don't know why you're so angry, Scotty. Okay? Tell us your problem.
I think
the album is it's a good look.
It's a good look. But in terms of just like wrestling career, no, he's not there yet.
Honky Tonk is still the greatest Intercontinental champ. He had the title for so long. It's a big deal.
Jeff Jarrett is pretty high up there with the IC title.
No, that's just some bullshit that they fed you when he was going to the Hall of Fame. Honky Tonk Man was a much bigger deal.
I mean, I guess I can't.
And a time when the business was much more booming than in 1994 when Jeff Jarrett was there doing a stupid thing. Now, Jarrett had the song, but that was legit sung by Brian James.
True.
Which is a good song. Now, what I want to know is whose wrestling songs are better? Brian James with the one song that he did that is like legendary.
Elias.
And spend my day working hard on the go, but the hands on the clock keep spinning too slow. Another song I would totally make if somebody would make me an instrumental, because there's a parody to be had there. But I can't, because it's just a fucking stupid wrestling song that was recorded like 26 years ago.
Yeah.
But who's better, that or anything that Elias does?
Anything Elias does, like on a Monday night in Fresno.
Okay. I'll tell you what song's more famous and what song's going to be remembered for a long time. Is that sung by Brian James.
Yeah, sure.
With My Baby Tonight.
Doesn't mean it's better.
Especially since our friends at the Pritchard Show made it like a meme.
Yes, that is
okay,
true.
so what I was saying about these tweets, I got like a bunch here from Chilluminati.
That is shocking.
Yeah, well, he's a loyal fan. He's a good dude.
The hardcore legend DRE.
Yes, Chilluminati. Changes his name all the time.
I always get excited about his names.
He changes his gimmick more than, I don't know, Jeff Hardy? Face paint?
I don't know.
Who changes what they wear all the time? What's a good analogy?
I don't care.
All right, you're tired. It's fine. I'll just read them all. I don't care.
Yeah.
He says, would you rather see AJ versus Joe for the title to main event SummerSlam or Fatal 4-Way, AJ, Cien, Rusev, Joe, then Dean Ambrose appearance to start a feud with whoever ends up champ? I mean, that's a lot going on there. He also says hashtag more between two beers. We'll see. Steve's making music. I
like the one-on-one.
AJ Joe. Give me AJ Joe.
I like the one-on-one. Yeah, there's no reason for Cien and Rusev. It does sound like Vince is pretty impressed with Cien and he's going to get a push, but I don't think this is the right time.
He also asks, with the stipulation between Braun and KO being winner gets Bunny in the Mank briefcase for the WWE Championship, should KO win, since Braun doesn't really need the briefcase to win the title, and if Braun wins, should he cash in the same night? I think that KO should win. I honestly feel like they wouldn't float this out there if there wasn't a great chance of it actually happening, because it's interesting.
You did talk me into
wrinkle.
this. You did talk me into this, and I feel like the way they could do this to give Braun the shot, because I feel like this guy's been...
Braun doesn't need to cash in a briefcase.
No,
to
he
win.
doesn't, and I feel like could be a good way where Kevin gets this briefcase and gets the belt, and that gives
it's the
Braun
perfect Weasley
the rematch.
way for him to still win a championship after not being at all like in contention recently.
You did talk me into that a little bit more. I still think the whole stipulation of the match is stupid as hell. The way it's just like, well, we're just going to decide to do it, so we're doing it.
People ask for that all the time. They
I get
put
it.
the briefcase on the line.
I get it, but either way.
But it works too, because for a while we got to have Braun with the briefcase. They got to make some T-shirt money. He got to walk around saying, I'm a monster in the bank. I'm going to cash in on Brock Lesnar, blah, blah, blah.
I feel like Braun deserves the belt for a little bit.
He's so good on the mic right now, too.
He's just, I don't know. He's been the face of the company for over a year.
Braun's also starting to use his normal voice a little more, and it's
killing
my impression.
It's weird. It's actually
he
weird when he does
sound like
it.
this anymore.
It's weird when he does it.
He's just like, hey, I'm Braun Strowman. Hey,
Hi.
I'm a guy.
Hi, I'm Braun Strowman.
I like shooting guns and killing boars.
Yeah.
Anyway. His last one. This was a good question. Will you guys ever do a video version of the podcast on the YouTube channel? Hashtag just two tweets. Maybe. If we get our act together. I don't know.
Never really thought of that, really. I feel like something
I
like
don't
that.
have the greatest setup for the video stuff. My place is small. It's just like a living room. It doesn't look very wrestling.
Yeah, but we could make it better. But I feel like you need to have more of a set schedule to be able to do something like that.
That's tough. It's a lot of work. So
because people need to know when to tune in, sort of. I don't know.
We would probably have a Patreon before we would do something like that, because if any money were actually coming in, then maybe it would make it a little easier to like even pay somebody to edit it and put it up for me, or like put some money into materials for like making a set, getting better camera, stuff like that, or a mixer, because we might want to hear each other while we're recording right now. But I think we do pretty good for the setup we got. It's definitely it's an idea. It's something that's on my radar. Also, I don't know.
We're still pretty young, right? Like we're not even 20
only
episodes
like
in.
mid-30s.
No, I don't mean our age, you idiots. I mean the show.
But also, like, being on camera sucks. I don't know. Then I got to be all.
Hey, I got the face for radio, so.
You do have a face for radio. It's gorgeous. Okay, moving on. Ryan Connolly 20 says, at this point, should we as fans want Roman Reigns to win so we don't have to suffer any more Brock versus Roman main events? Also, the Foundation requests that Basement Steve stomps the mud hole dry into whoever caused the week off. Steve, are you going to kick the ass of Stuart A. Thompson?
You fucking right I am. That sumbitch and his Pulitzer Prize nomination about to get their ass whipped.
All right. Now he's going after very, very, impressive people now.
I don't want Roman to win. He's had 4 chances. He's getting a 5th chance. He should not win. If he wins, it's a complete waste for the other 4 chances.
No, I do. Just give it to fucking
stupid.
Roman. Let's end this stupid Brock Lesnar situation.
No.
Okay?
Come back on Raw on Monday night and drop the title.
I disagree. Do you, Mary Carr again says, do you think the Evolution pay-per-view is based off of all the heat that WWE got for no women at Greatest Royal Rumble? Also, did you notice after they talked about 30-second matches, Sasha and Bailey had like 4 minutes?
I did notice that, but Sasha and Bailey, like it was a jobber match to further their story. So I don't think there was anything to that.
She said, hashtag glad you're back, hashtag I had nothing to listen to at work. I'm sorry. There's other podcasts out there to fill in the blanks. I would suggest something to wrestle.
Do you think this is because of the backlash at GRR?
It could be, but I think that they were working towards this anyway.
I think
this
so
is
too.
probably part of why they were like, internally, they would have just been like, everybody just needs to chill out. If they could just wait till
coming,
October,
just
we have a
relax.
fucking women's pay-per-view planned, you assholes.
Yeah, I think you're
shit
right.
on everything. God damn it, pal, you shit on everything.
I think you're right. And you know what? Maybe it was something that was made backstage to the girls saying like, listen, we're just going to do this one time, but don't worry, we'll make it up to you. But I think they were planning it for a while. Like, I don't think this is something they were just like, you know what we should do and just make it up.
Yeah. And she also asked why we think both shows can't be creative at the same time. We kind of talked about that.
It's different
That's
writers.
definitely true.
It's different
writing
writers.
crew.
That's plain and simple what it is. It's just different writers.
Matt at Matt Hill tweets, did either of you watch Slammiversary? And if
No.
so, what are your thoughts on it? Personally, I would have to say Impact is the best booked company in North America at the moment, thanks to the influence of Don Callis and Scott D'Amore. And as I read that, a loud thunderclap
Yeah, that was
rolled.
cool.
So I guess that means that Impact Wrestling is taking over the world, and we're all going to die.
You know what? I am personally going to go back and check it out because
I am too.
I was on Twitter kind of following along while it was on, and people were legitimately
People were very happy with the show.
Yeah. So I'm willing to give it a chance. The
I feel
problem
like
is-
if they just made it a Canadian promotion, they would do quite well.
yeah.
Like it's owned by Anthem, which I think is still Canadian, is it not?
Honestly, I don't know.
Funny story, not
just watch so much
super
wrestling.
funny. Yeah, I watch too much wrestling, and I don't even watch as much wrestling as half the people I know.
Yeah.
Funny story, half funny, half sad. Friend of the show, Kevin Mickey, got passes to that show, and he went to Slammiversary, but he asked me if I wanted to go, and it was after the wedding. I got home the day of. It was like a 2.5 hour drive. I'd just gotten in the door, and I was like tired and still hungover, needed to sleep. And he's like, hey, do you want to come see Slammiversary? Yeah, I have passes. And I'm like, oh, because I would have had to commute into the city, and I was already tired. And honestly, I didn't end up doing much that day, so I don't think I could have. But I really, really like wished I could have gone. And that situation alone was like, next time, like, don't drink much. Just come home the next day and be bright and bushy-eyed because there's a chance that something good will happen the next day.
You know what it is for me too?
But I got to watch it. I got to see how it went. It looked awesome.
Like I'm invested in WWE because of the storylines and the characters and that sort of thing. The great wrestling is one thing, and not every storyline is great. I totally get that. But to go and watch another promotion and try and because like, let's be honest, it's a TV show, it's scripted, it's a soap opera, and that's why we love it, because it's just kind of crazy and nothing makes sense. So to add in another show and try and get into the characters and into the storylines and that sort of thing, that's where I have trouble with it. Where I don't even I want to give it a chance to watch it, because if it's good, it's good. But at the same time, it's like I don't know if I even have the time to invest in the characters.
Yeah, that's where I struggle sometimes, even just trying to keep up with NXT.
Absolutely.
I'm up with who they are, but I'm just like, shoot, that's like another hour a week that I just have to be on my game enough to watch it. But I'm interested, and I saw a promo from oh my God, Tommy Dreamer, like a couple weeks ago on Twitter, and I asked people, I'm like, is this what I can expect from Impact Wrestling week in and week out? Because that promo was awesome. It was just fantastic. It was fire. So I'm interested. My interest is peaked, so I'm probably going to be checking it out. And it may, Slammiversary, if I watch it, may be the catalyst to get me to watch week in and week out. Jeff Willis at JWill910 says, Andrew David Cox, since Joe versus AJ is confirmed for SummerSlam, and I'm sure most are more interested in that than Roman versus Brock, where do you think they put it on the card? My honest opinion, they'll bury it and make it third or fourth match. I could honestly see that, because if you look at the way WWE brass are going to think of like a Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns match,
Ramen
match, that's definitely going to headline. That's going at the end of the night. No doubt about it.
Of course it is.
And there's got to be ample space between like the WWE title match and this match. And if you take into account maybe like 12 matches or something on a long SummerSlam card, maybe 10 matches, yeah, it could be third or fourth. It could also be third or fourth from the end. Like it could be in the second half of the show. I would at least put it second half of the show. I don't like when they put the WWE title match like early.
Yeah.
Like third match or something feels, although the
feels
crowd is
buried in
up
the
for it, it feels buried.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea still of having that title match and then like a bit of a refresher in between, and then the Universal title, or change it up and just do the world title and then the universal title. Like, we're building up all night. Yep. We got AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe in a big title match, and then Roman Reigns comes out to face. You telling me the crowd can't get up for both of those matches back to back? Fuck yeah, they can.
I always feel like the titles need to go at the back. I do. It's just whether universal.
You like everything at the back, don't you, Matty?
God damn.
You dirty sumbitch, you piece of trash. Goddamn kid. You are filthy as fuck. Matt the Mark is filthy as shit.
Okay.
That's inappropriate. Wow. Stu Little at SL Fricky says, which wrestling biopic would you like to see get made and who would star in it? That's a great question. And I like that it's off topic. Question. Like, yeah. I like random questions like that. I actually have an answer to this.
Okay.
I've always wanted to see a Vince McMahon biopic. I know that's like a little easy to come up with, but he's obviously one of the most incredibly interesting people of all time. I'm not sure who would play him as a young man, but I would say that J.K. Simmons would do a fantastic job as older Vince.
I could see that.
It'd be fantastic.
Yeah,
like, he's just that total personality, like really gruff, like deep voice, grovelly voice, kind of intimidating. You slap a wig on him or something, and he's totally Vince McMahon.
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair biopic?
I would love to see a Ric Flair biopic.
Nice. Yep. Who do you think could play Ric Flair?
I didn't think that far into it. I would love to see, like, just his life.
Yeah.
Over a 2-hour span. Have some. I honestly don't know who could play him, but like, think of the life he's lived. Like, at first I was thinking, who are some of the young wrestlers? It'd be cool to see the way they came up and that sort of thing. But the more I thought about it, it's like, legendary. No, I want someone legendary.
Yep.
And Ric Flair, and just how he could develop that character, and God knows what else he got into.
Well, yeah, all the crazy other stuff. Well, it was more drinking.
Any of those old guys from that era would be pretty amazing. Ultimate Warrior wouldn't be bad. Although Warrior's, we've got a lot of backstory on Warrior.
I would say also Hogan is definitely a character that they could do a movie on, especially like the stuff at the end, like the Gawker trial and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like the controversy that he's kind of mired in now at the end of his career. And I don't know who would play a guy like that. It would have to be somebody who could get really jacked up.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, those are my answers. I think that's about it.
I think so.
If you want to be a part of the show next week, don't forget to use hashtag just2tweets. That's just the number 2 tweets. And we're going to get you in on the show. We love it when people reach out to us. That's why we call you the Foundation, because we build a show on you and we have a good time doing it.
Yep.
Support the show. Tweet us at ADCs of Wrestling. If you notice, I'm slightly starting to roll out some new graphics, some kind of rebrand stuff. I might be changing the YouTube channel as well to the ADCs of Wrestling.
Just a name only.
Yeah, just keep it all.
Just a name. You confused the crap out of me when you sent me that text.
I don't know why I confused you.
It didn't make sense.
It's all the same content. I'm just changing the name to ADCs of Wrestling.
That's not what you said at first.
So that way I can like hashtag ADCs of Wrestling is everything.
Not what you said.
Anyways, follow me currently at youtube.com/Andrew David Cox. Tweet us at ADCs of Wrestling. I am at Andrew David Cox on Twitter and Instagram. He is at Matt the Markiest on Twitter. Mm-hmm. You can go there for various political diatribes that have nothing to do with wrestling. And
I'm going to try.
We'll still trying to some of you, and we'll please others.
It's so crazy. If I offend you, I apologize. You are allowed your own opinion, but it is insane. I'm trying to stay away from it, but sometimes it's too much.
It's great for our show. Staying totally neutral, not offending people with personal opinion whatsoever.
You have your opinion, and that's your opinion. That's fine. But
it just makes me realize how just mundane and unimportant my tweets are. My stuff is just like, Lacey Evans' gimmick is too old school.
But I mean, at least you're on point, right? Like you're on brand.
Right. Anything else? I don't think so.
No, I'm good.
All right, it's good to be back, guys. We'll see you next week. Check the YouTube channel for that Steve video. It's coming out. It's going to happen at some point. Maybe next week. Maybe this week. I don't know. We'll see you next week. Ball game.
I feel like you should know.
Shut up. Ball game.
Peace.
Ball game. Peace. Ball game.
All right.
It's over, Maddie. JBL's closing the show this week. Ball game.
Peace.
I'm bringing stoners back. What? Those aren't the words. It's too fast for me. Shit, I'm blowing up. I don't know whether to shit or wind my watch, but it's no matter. Anyway, if you enjoyed this podcast, you need to get your ass over to iTunes or Spotify, whatever the shit, and subscribe and rate 5 stars for ADC's hard-ass work, or I'm fixing to open up a new can of whoop ass on your ass. And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.